Out of Africa's nearly 128 million school-aged children, 17 million will never attend school. It is even more shocking that 37 million African children will learn so little while they are in school that they will not be much better off than the kids who never attended school. The system is divided into three strata, namely general education and training, further education and training, and higher education and training. The first 6 years are spent in primary school, where literacy and numeracy are established. The following 3 years are spent in middle school. Subjects taught continue to be academic with a flavor of vocational training. Completion brings with it a basic education and training certificate. Secondary education is administered through a network of previously mainly white government schools and private colleges. Standards are generally high. Unfortunately, school fees and tuition fees stop the poorest of people from attending. Africa is the hottest continent on Earth. Dry lands and deserts take over 60% of the entire surface. The Sahara Desert is the world's largest desert. It has temperatures above 100 degrees Fahrenheit. It holds record for the highest temperature ever recorded at 136 degrees Fahrenheit. Most of Africa's land is in the tropics. The continent's northern half is primarily desert or arid, while its central and southern areas contain both savanna plains and very dense jungle regions. Summers in the southern Africa can be very hot, especially along the coastal areas. Inland, in the higher elevations, temperatures do moderate. Winters are generally mild with some light snow up in the hills and mountains. Africa has 8 different types of climate: tropical rainforest, humid subtropical, Mediterranean, savanna, steppe, desert, highland, and marine.
In the African culture, there are many different climates, which leads to a great variety of foods around Africa. There are 4 different areas in Africa that have different types of traditional cuisine. There is North Africa, Central Africa, West Africa, and then South and East Africa have common traditional cuisine, so they're put into one group. So that's the 4 different groups I'm going to tell you about in the food or cuisine in the African culture. In North Africa, the food has been influenced by traders, invaders, and migrants who have came to Africa. The Arabs came to Africa and introduced spices such as nutmeg, cinnamon, and ginger. The Ottoman Turks brought sweet pastries and other baked foods. One of the most important type of food used in North Africa is olives. Olives are used as well as olive oil, which is used in the cooking of many foods and meals in North Africa. In the food in South and East Africa is mostly dependent on grains, vegetables, and beans, with fish that come into play in the coastal lake or river regions. Ground maize or corn is the basis for many meals in this area, as well as oranges, lemons, and limes, which are used in when cooking meals. In West Africa, the food usually relies on heavy starchy foods, also known as carbohydrates, which will supply energy. Typically, the food is flavored with hot spices or chili peppers, or sauces such as peanut. Food in Central Africa consists of plantains and cassavas, which continue to be the basis of many meals. Bambara is a common dish in this region, which is a porridge made from rice, peanut butter, and sugar. The major faiths practiced in South Africa are Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, traditional African religions, and Judaism. These religions were brought by Europeans and other foreign settlers. South Africa is called the Rainbow Nation because of its variety of people, cultures, and religions. Freedom of religion is protected for the people of Africa in their constitution. So everyone is free to follow whatever faith they want or to not follow any faith at all. Traditional African religion is based on oral traditions, which means these traditions are passed down through generations, from elders to younger generations. In this traditional religion, the community is the most important part of someone's life. Religion in most African societies also supports moral order. It creates a sense of security and order in the community, and followers believe in the guidance of their ancestors' spirits. There are spiritual leaders, kinds of priests or pastors, in most traditional African religions. This traditional religion is a way of life in which ancestors are part of every major event, such as weddings, births, and deaths, as well as less important events such as getting a job or finishing universities. Usually, an offering is made at these events to please or thank the ancestors. An example of this would be a cow, sheep, or chicken being slaughtered, and the ancestors are called upon to receive the offering and bless the gathering.
The government of the African culture is broken down into two levels: the indigenous organization and the national government of the independent nation states. In the indigenous organization, which applies to local groups, is broken up into three branches known as bands, tribes, and kingdoms. Bands are limited to the societies with economies based on hunting and gathering, bushmen of the Kalahari, and the foragers of the Central African forests. Their economies require a low density of population. Therefore, it is demanded that wide distribution over large areas. The relationship between the two levels is complex and has led to serious incompatibilities and conflicts. Although the bands are not found in total isolation, but they are separated away from different cultural groups with distinct and complementary economies. Bands are large kinship groups under the authority of family elders and shamanic ritual leaders. Tribes are commonly the numerically larger group, but the kings are centered around the office of a king and have more rules and guidelines to follow. Music is a form of communication that plays a big role in African society. Music is used for several different occasions for celebrations such as marriage, birth, rites of passage, hunting, and even political activities. Although in certain African communities they are believed to protect you from evil spirits and pay respects to good spirits, such as the dead and the ancestors. Music styles may vary from region to region. Although there are some common forms of musical expressions, they have a lot in common. The most significant instrument that is common in the African music is the African drum. It is used to express the mood of the people and evokes emotion. The beat of the drum is what holds the dances together. Dancing is an integral part of the African culture. In these dances, the dancers use symbolic gestures, masks, costumes, body paintings, and props to communicate. The dances are either simple or they can be complex, with intricate actions such as fast-paced moving or rapid movements. The dancing is used to express emotion, either joyful or sorrowful, and it is not limited to just dancers. The spectators are encouraged to join in and participate in the dances.